Hello, hello, hello. So I want to I want to have a conversation with you guys and just let you guys know what's been going on, what I've experienced over these last couple of weeks. For those who know me, know that I've been growing, I've been changing for the better, and when people, when I say that to people, they don't understand, because they don't know my past. You know what I mean? Um, and I could feel God, you know what I'm saying, moving through me, like working through me, And one of the things that was like a huge thing for me in the past was me going into fight or flight because of my traumas and the things that I've been through. When something would come up, like I would automatically go into fight or flight, not knowing how I'm gonna get this done. I'll be all panicky. But this time it was different. It was different. And a lot of people don't believe in God, and that's fine. That's fine. To each his own. But I have testimony. And these is one of my testimonies. And right before Christmas, the car broke down. It stopped running. It wouldn't even turn on. I had some jumper cables, and I used the jumper cables, and it would start with the jumper cables, but as soon as I take the cables off, it wouldn't start up. So I said, okay. I said, so what now? I said, what do I do now? In the past, my body would have went into fight or flight. You know what I mean? I would have been having anxiety. I would have been depressed, all types of crazy shit. But lately, like, and the thing about it is that, you know what I'm saying, we're human, and they say that your faith needs only to be like size of a mustard seed. You know what I mean? So I don't beat myself up too much, but all I know is that something changed, right? So during the Christmas vacation, which was in December, my car stopped working right before Christmas. I had to figure out how the kids was going to go back to school. Money was still doing what it does, but life was not getting easier. You know what I'm saying? Life just kept lifing, and that's just how it is sometimes. And also I realized that, and let me just say this, a lot of times we be the cause of our own demise. Like, I'm going to say that. And people don't want to admit that. You know what I mean? People don't want to admit that sometimes we be the cause of our own demise. We be the cause of the shit that we put ourselves in. You know what I mean? Like let's be real. Like, we do. And these was one of these moments. Because being that I have a car, I should have taken the time out to get to know what needed to be done to a car. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, I'm like, well, if the shit is running fine, then it's cool. Like, I don't need to go get it checked out. You know what I mean? That's that me thinking ignorant. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay. I said, we got to do better. Like, I can't keep, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing the same things and expecting different results. You know what I mean? But this situation has taught me a lot. And sometimes when we go through things, sometimes we don't learn. Sometimes we go ahead and do the same dumb shit all over again. But this situation has really, really helped me to understand, and it has really put me in a calmer state. Like, my body did not go into fight or flight. Like, I didn't do the victim mentality thing. Like, when things used to happen to me in the past, I'll be fussing about it, like, just, you know what I'm saying, just like going off the wind, you know what I'm saying, like playing victim, saying like, why is this happening to me? I don't understand. When 9 times out of 10, like I said, we be the cause of our own fucking demise. We just need somebody else to blame. Let that one sit in for a little bit. Moving forward, so instead of panicking, I stood on all 10 toes. I told myself, I said, you know what? I said, this is just temporary. This is just temporary. This is not long term. So I told myself, okay, Mbika, what's the next step? What are the steps that you can perform, that you have control over? And what that was for me, and what it looked like for me, was basically calling the school transportation bus and kind of having them set up a bus route for Anaya, because Amin already had his bus. My son already had his bus route. I was driving my daughter to school and picking her up. So I called the Department of Transportation for the school and told them what was going on and everything. So now Anaya's taking the bus, right? The weekend before they were supposed to go to school, I think that weekend right there, in my mind, I said, okay. I said now we need to figure out how I'm gonna get Anaya on the bus, not really get like on the city bus, so she could know how to get home. You know what I mean? So once I made the phone calls and I figured that out, I said, God shows up in ways that I didn't even know. You know what I mean? That I needed. Because sometimes when we be like in a friend, sometimes we don't think properly. You know what I'm saying? Because our minds be all over the place. But because I was so calm, I was able to listen to God. You know what I mean? And so Saturday, look, he showed up again. Saturday, I go to the store, right? I see a lady standing at the bus stop. So I'm like, you know what? Let me ask her just to find out where I could get a bus card from. They call it bus cards where we at. You know, New York, we call them Metro cards. And I grew up in New York City. You know what I mean? I grew up in New York City, you know, with the buses, with the trains. Right now I'm living in Connecticut. And they still have bus routes. Yeah, so it wasn't nothing that I was embarrassed about. But it's like when you so used to like driving and having that luxury, it's like, damn, I want it back. So that's a normal feeling. But anyway, as I'm walking, I said, you know what? I said, let me just ask her. So I said, fine. I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, can I ask you a question? I said, how can I get a bus card? I said, can I pay for the bus card on the bus, or do I need to get it like online? Do I need to go somewhere? And she said she wasn't too sure. What she said was that she think I could have got it on the bus, but what she did was she gave me a Metro card with 10 rides on it. And I was like, ma'am, I said, no, I just need to know where to get one from. And she was like, no, you're okay. Here's 10 rides. And I was like, look at God. Won't he do it? Listen, let me tell you something. Like I said, I have testimony. Because, baby, when God show up, he show the fuck out. He don't play around. He don't. And so that's what I mean is like, and I feel like I've always had my faith, but it just feels a little different now. Like I'm not begging God to fix everything now. You know what I mean? I'm trusting that he's going to carry me through the worst because I'm still here. You know what I mean? And every time I've really needed something, like I'm telling you, he's always shown up, even when it was my fault. You know, so I thank God for his grace and his compassion, because I know he be wanting to bust me inside my fucking head sometimes and shake the shit out of me. You understand what I'm saying? But, and I don't think that's luck anymore, because a lot of people because I'm really into astrology and my birth chart and stuff, and I'm a Sagittarius, and Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius. And I think I might have said that backwards. Is it Sagittarius? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Sorry. And everybody know Jupiter is the planet of luck. You know what I mean? And I was always told that. But, and I don't think that's what it is. I just think I just stopped panicking. You know what I mean? Like, it was like my nervous system had a reset. And trusting God doesn't mean, I realized during this time that trusting him doesn't mean I stopped planning. Because some people be like, sometimes it's for us just to sit and wait for God. But I'm like, I don't believe all that. Because I feel like we need to be trying to make some type of moves that we can control and that we have control over. The rest of the stuff, God is going to take care of. You know what I mean? So I did my part as far as making the phone calls. You know what I mean? I met Anaya at her school. Me and Amin, we took the bus. It was cold as fuck, but we took the bus. Excuse me, I just burped. But we took the bus to Anaya's school, and she waited for her to come out, and then we all just took the bus back so she knew her route. After that, she was doing her thing every day, coming home by herself on the city bus, because she takes the school bus Monday through Friday, but the school bus don't pick her up from her late school from 1 to 4:10. She's an art major. She's still in high school, but she's an art major. So she has her regular high school, then she has like her art school from 1 to 4, Monday through Thursday. And so the school transportation, they don't have buses, the school buses that drive that late. So her regular high school provides them with Metro cards, which is wonderful. So that's what we did. I met her one day after school, and we rode the city bus, so she knows how to get home now on the city bus. I downloaded the app, the CT bus transit app on her phone. You know what I mean? So that was the part that I knew I had to do and the part that I had to control. So again, trusting God doesn't mean that I stop planning. It doesn't mean that I stop being responsible. It just means that I stop destroying my nervous system over shit that hasn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? Because I'll be overthinking in my head. That's just what it is. Like, I'll just be overthinking, the ADHD kicking. You know what I'm saying? I'll spiral the fuck out of control over here. But this time, I didn't do that. You know what I mean? And it felt good. It felt good to be able to have some type of control on whether I was going to spiral out of control or whether I was going to take the necessary steps so my babies could get to school. And and now it's like the faith is more there instead of fear. And honestly, that's fucking growth for me. For me, that is. It might not be, for everybody else, but again, a lot of y'all don't know my story. I've come a long fucking way. And so I'm happy at where I am right now. You know what I mean? And I don't think people talk about this version of faith that much. You know what I mean? Not the loud part. You know what I mean? Because I hear everybody, everything is perfect faith. Everything is quiet faith. But sometimes it's like we be in transition. Like, you know what I mean? Did I say that right? I don't think I said that. Let's word out that last statement. I don't know what that was. I think what I was trying to say is sometimes we be like in transition, like to go from one place to the next. And all this time, like doing this whole, because for the last 6 years, I've been rebuilding myself. I've been learning so much about myself and I've been healing. And so I've always had this mentality of not mentality, but of begging God. Like, please change me. Like, please change me. Like, I got these habits. Please, 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 please. And it's like, God don't do shit when we want. Like, he gonna do it at his own time when he feel like it's necessary. Because sometimes we be asking for shit when we know we're not even ready for what we're asking for. So God is like, no, you're not fucking getting that. Go sit your ass down somewhere and you just wait and keep working on what the fuck I told you to work on. You know what I mean? And I curse like a cell, and God know that. So I don't, I had to say that because I know people be, oh, you cursing and you use, because he know me and God loves me and that's what matters. So let's keep on with this conversation anyway. But so it just feels good. And I said to myself, I was like, ooh. After this, like when everything happened and with the car and everything, I said, you know what? God is working through me. And I had to sit down and I had to pray, asking God. You know what I mean? Because all this time, all these years, I was saying, damn, like, please. Because it was like I wanted God to change me without doing the fucking work. Because it's like I suffered and I've been hurting for so long. I want to change. So it's like, change me. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, it don't work like that. So over this, like I said, with the car situation, I've been cool. I've been cool. And for me, that's groundbreaking for me. Because again, I'm so used to going at the fight or flight. You know what I mean? And yeah, but sometimes change is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's still waiting. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I don't get to hate myself no more. I don't get to play victim. You know what I mean? But like I said, this was like the first, and I'm not gonna say the first time. This is actually the first time that I didn't cause a fight or flight. I'm serious. Like, this is the first time. And it's just like, and it feels good. It just feels good. You know what I mean? And God don't want us to always carry everything. You know what I'm saying? He want us to, you know what I'm saying, give it to him, But my thing is that it's like when I be the cause of my own situation, sometimes I get embarrassed because it's like, I be ashamed to go to God. But not no more. I just, like I said, the situation has been different for me. I know my car is going to get fixed. You know what I mean? It just won't be in the timing I want it to be, is what I'm saying. And so this situation is a learning experience. And I just wanted to just kind of share this with everybody, because I know people, and I know everybody's struggling. I know, with me not working and me going to school, I've talked to people who got a job and they still struggling. You know what I'm saying? Doing paycheck to paycheck, just above water. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to keep their head afloat. You know what I mean? So I just want to just kind of get this message out there. And just, you know what I'm saying? If you're going through something, just know that everything is going to be okay. Like, shit is going to be okay. It is. You know what I mean? And with that being said, my loves, peace and love.